Hi, so I'm going to start on Narin's hair now. As you can see, we washed it about an hour ago, so it's fine as it is because I'm going to put some products in it and stuff, so it doesn't need to be damped down because it is still slightly damp. Right, firstly I'm going to start with a root booster. This is because Narin's hair is quite fine, so we need to get as much body in it as possible. I'm basically going to do like a curly blow dry because I think it's quite nice when the bride, if she's having her hair up, then the bridesmaids have the opposite and have their hair down. So I'm going to start with Bedhead Queen for a Day. It's my favourite product by far. I am a bit of a product junkie, so if I get a bit carried away, Narin, you'll have to say. So just spray this in at the root, all over. Once this is all sprayed in, then we're just going to dry the roots slightly with a comb. Now if you're doing this yourself at home, you don't need to use a comb because it can be a little bit, you can feel a bit cack-handed when you're in the mirror with a comb trying to do it the opposite direction. So if you're doing this at home, literally spray this all in at the roots and then you can tip your head upside down to blast off the roots. You're just going to get your maximum body that way. This product's also great because it's quite a strong hold factor, but it doesn't go too sticky. I mean, if you left it in the hair and didn't dry it off, it would go sticky, but if you're just putting it in and then drying it, it's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to dry off the roots. Now what I'm going to do, I'll show you this side. Now you need to go in the opposite direction to the parting. So Narin's parting is on the right side of her head, over to the left. So you want to root lift it the opposite way. So you'll be lifting up like this and drying it that way. So do that all over first. You do all of it in the opposite direction, so the hair underneath, do it coming forward. As you can see already, that's already got some root lift on it. Okay, so that's the roots done. As you can see already, that's got quite a good bit of body in. I did that without a nozzle on, so that you just, sometimes with the nozzle, if you're using the nozzle, the heat's directed too flat and can flatten the roots. So I'm going to put a nozzle on now. Also, I'm using a Parlux hairdryer. They're professional ones. I find they're the best because they're the most powerful and consistent, and they last years, absolutely years. I had my last one for about 7 years before it had to be replaced. So they really are a great brand. Right, I'm just sectioning off a small part of Narin's hair here underneath. This is Super Skinny Serum by Paul Mitchell. I love it. It's a great serum because it's not too heavy, it's quite light, but it's going to stop your hair frizzing, and hair like Narin's and mine tends to frizz a bit, so this is just going to prevent that while we're blow drying it. Keeps it nice and smooth as well. Okay. Now I'm just using a normal bristle brush, ceramic rather. You can use a bristle brush if you prefer, but too many bees there. But otherwise you can just use a ceramic one like this. This is actually a GHD brush. I love it for its size, and the ceramic retains the heat as well, so it helps whilst blow drying. Right, so take the section from underneath and just blow dry over the top. Lift it up. As if you're doing it straight. Lift it up like that. And then get the hair and put the brush on top and put your thumb underneath and pull it up. Like that. This is just going to give you maximum body at the root. Okay, now we're going to do the curling part, which at first may seem quite difficult, but once you get used to it, it's fine. So what you want to do, I'll just show you it while the dry is off, because otherwise you might not hear me. Put the brush in, pull it smooth as if you're blow drying it, and then just roll the ends under, like that, and pull it down and hold the dryer over the top. for a few seconds, not too long because you will burn yourselves. For a few seconds, then bring it out a bit, a few seconds, then back down, a few more seconds with the hot heat. Then do a blast of cool heat on it, and then just leave it for a few seconds just like that. And then you can release it and it should be curly. Okay? So, bring it out, twist it around the end, bring it back to the root, wire over it, come out slightly again. You can do a bit under as well. And back down. And then give it a full blast. Okay. When you take it out, just twist it around your finger a bit. And there you have it. Nice, gorgeous curl. We're going to do this throughout her hair, so always lift the section up. So that with the dryer off. Always lift the section up as you're drying it, because this is just going to keep as much body as you can in the hair. The best thing about this blow dry is it's actually quite quick, because you can do it when your hair's sort of 70–80% dry, because you're just smoothing it out and curling the end. There are other ways of doing this same look. I mean, you could probably get a similar look with the GHDs or with Velcro rollers, but I find sometimes when you're using the GHDs, people make it a bit flat on top, so this is just going to keep a lot of body. So, this is the back, Narin's hair. Nice amount of body in it still. So I'm just going to turn her around now and do the front. If you were going to use Velcro rollers to do this, you would need to sort of smooth and blow dry it first, then pop them in. I love the new Snooze Velcro rollers that you can wear overnight. I think they're great. I use them quite a lot. It's probably partly laziness though, put it in and it does it for you while you're asleep.
So what would you do with someone like Simon's hair, for example? Simon, by the way, has thick hair, a lot of hair, and it's really frizzy and curly naturally.
I would probably blow dry hers into Velcro rollers and leave it to set, but fully blow dry it like I'm doing yours, and then put the rollers in, because that's going to get the most body and set the best. Because her hair is so heavy, you need it to set for longer. Something like this probably wouldn't last very long on her hair. This applies all over the head, so even the fringe, still lift it up, because you're going to get the most body off that. Just wait for it to cool a second. Don't take it out when it's too hot still, because it will just drop very quickly. And try not to brush it as soon as you take it out. Just leave it until you've done the whole head, and then you can manoeuvre it how you want. And then just twist it again on your finger. And just give it the colour you want. Okay, what I tend to do is I always do the back and the sides, and then you're left with like a top box like this to do last. So do the same with yours. Do all the sides and the top first, sorry. Don't be afraid to use too much of this, by the way. It's great stuff.
What is it?
Food for a day. Good head. Okay. Now we're on to the top section. So Narin wears side fringe, so we're going to bring that out. She's going to wear that forward. And then you do all of the rest back.
Give me the point if you want. What will suit the hairstyle most?
Yeah, I might do middle part on the other side after. Just do this first. I do the whole top section back because it achieves the most body on the top of the head, which tends to go flattest, quickest. Again, a little bit more queen for a day. You can take it about halfway down. Don't do it on the ends. There's no point really. It doesn't do anything.
It smells really nice.
Yeah, it does smell nice. Always bring the section up. Don't forget that.
What are your best tips for people blow drying their hair at home?
Never do it from wet. It takes too long. So always dry it off a bit first.
What, with blow dry?
Yeah, or just leave it in a towel. If your hair tends to go frizzy, always use a serum. I prefer using a serum when it's wet. So the Super Skinny Serum, again, by Paul Mitchell, you can apply when your hair's wet. But just because I find it keeps the moisture up better than putting it in after. And sometimes if you put it in after you've blow dried, you tend to put in too much. And it just weighs your hair down, makes it flat. So I put it in before I blow dry it. Using a ceramic brush because it retains the heat, I quite like them. Think of some other. Also, I find sometimes if you're finding it hard to do it in a mirror, use a mirror just after to look at it. So just go by sort of feel. So get the section from here and blow dry it up. Because the same with curling with the GHD. If you're looking in a mirror, it's backwards to you. So it's not as easy. Whereas if you don't use a mirror when you're doing GHDs, it's a lot easier to do when you're curling. Okay, right, that's the top part done. So, I'm just going to do the fringe. Sorry, a bit more of this. Because I love it so much.
I'm yet to see a product that works, but if you say that works, then I'm going to buy it tomorrow.
It's great, I must have used that on you before, no?
You haven't blow dried my hair in about 3 years.
It's true. Right, we've done the basics. I'm obviously not going to leave it like this. But now, I'm just going to add a bit of backcomb to it in certain areas that I want. And then, once I'm done with that, my little secret, Baptiste, it's dry shampoo, but they've got one, I think they brought it out about a year ago. It's called XXL Volume. Now this is great. After you've done a blow dry, if your hair's like Narin's, it's quite a fine texture, it gets the body in it quite well, but it doesn't last. So if you know, some people don't like backcombing, that's fine. If you don't, then just spray this in at the root. Because it's got such a lot of texture in it, it's going to keep the body there for longer. But I'm going to backcomb slightly first and then spray this in at the roots. Now when you spray it in, I'll see if I can spray some in my hand and you can see it. If you spray too close, you're going to get a powdered effect like that. So keep it a bit further, you know, you can see that falling off already. Keep it a bit further away. So you just want to blast it like that, and it's not going to, you're not going to see much, but the texture's still going to be there. So don't do it too close, because otherwise you'll end up with white lines all throughout your hair. I wouldn't want that. So it's got quite a lot of body in, so I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to do it in a crown area, because that typically goes quite flat on Narin's hair. So take the section up, and come from like, I go about a third of the way, almost half. I've got a backcombing brush, but you can use backcombing comb as well. And then just pop it in and just pull the hair down. Do about 3 times, and that's it. Okay, and I'm going to take a section underneath that. Same thing, about halfway. Comb in and just put it directly down to the root. I'm only going to do this in the crown area. This is just going to keep the body on the day, so it lasts longer. You don't want it to go flat when you're walking down the aisle and stuff. Okay, so once you've got the backcomb in, you then just want to brush out the top layer and just smooth it over. Can you turn back from it and see if that's enough? I don't have a mirror there, so I'll just see. You like that?
Oh, so cool.
It's just nice for a bridesmaid, you know.
And you can try middle point as well.
Yeah, I quite like it on the side though.
Or you could do loads of different things like.
You could. I mean, you
fringe.
could pin this up. You could plait it. You could half pin it up. You know,
look, even like that with the fringe not over the
hair.
Yeah,
it still looks nice. Yeah.
So as long as you get the body right,
as long as you've got the body and that nice curl on the ends,
you can style it any way you want.
It's pretty flexible then. Yeah. Once you've got the initial look,
you
can move it. Yeah. You can move it to wherever you want.
You don't even need hair extensions.
It's still quite long, isn't it? Even cut it.
Just to make it look fuller, I mean.
Oh right,
you've obviously
yeah,
made it look so full.
Okay.
So that's our hair done.
So that's your, yeah. You can spray this in if you want. I don't think I need it right now, but just so you know, there is that. Is that a bit big there?
No, it's nice. Can everyone see my new streaks? Like Rachel's doing.
I'm not looking at the colour. So yeah, just a natural, you know, bouncy, quite sexy blow dry, but it's just going to look nice, you know, for bridesmaids. It will have the same, and yeah, and that's it really. So, how does it feel? All right.
Lovely.
Cool.
Looks a bit Cheryl Cole-y.
Yeah, it does a bit.